But I just want to congratulate. I think you're going to have hopefully a really great mayor. The better he does, the happier I am, I will say. There's no difference in party. There's no difference in anything. And we're going to be helping him to make everybody's dream come true, having a strong and very safe New York. And congratulations, Mr. Mayor.
Imagine being the Democratic establishment right now, right? You got a candidate in which you try to sabotage at every single turn until you realize you couldn't do it anymore. That same candidate stuck true to messaging, things that people have critiqued you on as far as affordability is concerned and the working class, right? On top of that, didn't waver too much on a lot of things that I think a lot of people would have got taken right out the paint. And on top of that, your arch nemesis, right, Trump, he never wavered on telling you exactly and telling the world exactly what he thinks about Trump, right? And then he shows exactly how you deal with Trump, right? And this message is going to be for Democratic establishment, liberals, leftists, Trump haters like myself, right? I really want it to be a realistic conversation, right? But the point is, and that gentleman goes and shows you, right, puts on this masterclass, right, of, staying true to messaging, of, not wavering on some foreign policy stuff, still standing tall against the guy, you say is the boogeyman, and then he can walk into that White House and for whatever reason, maybe because it's just that charming and or, Trump knows affordability is popular right now, so Trump is very transactional. And or maybe because Mamdani knows what I know, Zohran knows what I know. Because if you lived in the Northeast and you know Donald Trump, it kind of gives you my boss vibes, right? And if you stand tall, if you let him know you can punch back, right? If you let him know you can swing back, he adjusts. But anyway, Zohran walks into that room and Trump is not playing the same old games. Meanwhile, weeks ago, you know what I'm saying? It was just calling him all types of, Islamophobic names. Right? That's that. Now, what's interesting is if you don't believe me, they actually challenged Mamdani, Zohran Mamdani, all right, on this stuff. Let's look at it.
It sounds like you had a productive discussion, but just days ago you referred to President Trump as a despot who betrayed the country. You said you would be his worst nightmare and accused him of having a fascist agenda. Are you planning to retract any of these remarks in order to improve your relationship?
I think both President Trump and I, we are very clear about our positions and our views. And what I really appreciate about the president is that the meeting that we had focused not on places of disagreement, which there are many, and also focused on the shared purpose that we have in serving New Yorkers. And frankly, that is something that could transform the lives of 8.5 million people who are...
Right? I stand on what I stand on. I know I got to work with him. I feel how he feels. He feels how he feels. I'm now an elected official, so I'm going to do what I have to do, which speaks to my next point on what I want to say to liberals and leftists. I don't really know how some of y'all might interpret this. Oh, shouldn't stand next to Trump. I feel like a lot of people shouldn't stand next to Trump. I really wouldn't say that about politicians who have to work with him, who really truly have the best interest of people at heart, as long as they stand 10 toes down. And that's what I'm telling you. That's why Zohran comes off like a star in the party. Zohran is no longer a protester. He's no longer a community organizer. He is indeed now an elected official. Okay. And he understands with Trump, stand tall, right? Stand tall. Let him know you're going to hold your ground. Go scope it out. Now, lastly, my last final point. I do want to say, I think sometimes you guys do this thing where we're like, oh, there's similarities between the populism of Zohran versus Trump. As a day one certified MAGA hater that sees them two standing next to each other, I want to let y'all know that I do see some of the similarities you guys are talking about. Just never forget, the difference is I think Zohran is a lot more genuine in his desires to help everyday Americans, particularly New Yorkers. And I think the other guy, orange guy, is a con man. And I have more than enough evidence to show that to you. All right. I just want to make sure you guys understand that. All right. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.